Естественно, из-за того, что это индор, это возможность контролировать среду, где это происходит выращивание, обязательно GMP certification подчеркивается, да, ну и лучшее качество конечного продукта. А из недостатков, ну, непосредственно инвестиции в стартап, ну и расходы.
Okay, and so the cons of it are going to be the cost. Basically, it's one of the most expensive ways to grow, not only from the initial start, but also the energy that goes into it, as well as the maintenance. Replacing bulbs and other material required for it can be like a very high yearly maintenance cost. Also, there's going to be a lot more cost going into who you cultivate the flowers with. That includes not only the master grower, but the workers there. We've seen a lot of indoor facilities that have actually failed because they didn't have a proper growing protocol in place or somebody that knew what they were actually doing inside the grow. Another issue is because it is an enclosed environment, bugs, diseases, mold will all spread a lot faster than if it was an outdoors grow, just because you're basically playing God inside of the indoor grow house. So anytime something goes wrong, it goes wrong heavily. So you do something wrong with the water, it goes wrong heavily. You do something wrong with the ventilation, it goes wrong heavily. That's one of the issues that you run into, as well as not only the waste runoff, because it's a lot more nutrients involved, it's a lot more of a controlled environment, it produces a lot more controlled waste. Using either plastic or glass in order to encase the cannabis plant. What you're going to have here is with the right heating and cooling system, you can actually grow year round. The quality is going to be the second highest compared to indoor. What we've noticed through the California, Oregon, Washington markets is that most of the cannabis consumed in the recreational market comes from greenhouse growing, usually with light deprivation added to it. We're seeing yields as high as 23 to 28% using greenhouses and light deprivation technology. One of the great things about it, and what we've heard from most growers, is you can't get the same taste and quality without using the sun of some sort. So that's why usually using the sun not only lowers the cost for growing inside of a greenhouse, but it also provides the flavor and the taste and the terpenoids that people are looking for when they consume cannabis. The negatives, it's almost going to be the exact same as you'll see for indoor growing, except for depending on what kind of setup you use, the cost can vary. We've built and used greenhouses made from recycled glass ourselves and seen increased in yields of like cannabinoid content. But if you really want to have something that can be growing year round, provide the high quality that the medical market demands, you'll need to spend an excessive amount of money to make it work. And with that comes all the normal problems that you would have with indoor growing. Generally though, we found that it is possible to get GAP and some GMP certification for greenhouse grown flowers, which is very important for the medical market for it to be exported. Now we're going to talk about outdoor growing. So one of the pros of this is going to be the cheap startup cost. Usually it just requires fertile soil or the soil that would fill in for the plants. One of the great things about this is that these produce some of the highest yields by volume. Now it will be the lowest cannabinoid content, but it will be the highest volume, which can be good depending on what your end product is for the market. Most of the growing this way is done for extractions. So we use outdoor growing to cultivate cannabinoids as a total amount and then extract it down to a more refined product that can be added to other things. You can have a lot of different variations of growing. So you can do everything from very close growing, like the style of hemp, in order to process biomass, or some people grow in more spaced out, anywhere from 3 to 9 meters apart, and then actually train their plants to grow for flower production. Both can be done. We're still experimenting in the US to find which is the best way to actually get the most cannabinoids from outdoor growing, but that's a work in progress. Availability means it's pretty much you can do it wherever you find space for it. You go out to California, you go out to Washington, you go out to Oregon, everybody's back porch, somebody's got a plant growing out there, and that's what we started to see across a lot of Europe. The equipment is readily available, so most of the harvesting equipment that you see for hemp and for cannabis, it can be adapted from the agricultural industry, which is a very good upside to it.
Может, он поменьше будет кусками говорить?
Ну, понимаете, только американец, у него хороший акцент, да, то есть это native speaker, поэтому немножко сложнее. Но в основном, что касается преимуществ, то есть, естественно, это намного дешевле, чем индор или теплицы. Там, но немножко это больше к недостаткам относится, да, тоже Джордан упомянул.